In January 2026, the global financial system quietly crossed a breaking point.
China began selling U.S. Treasury bonds at a scale never seen before.
$688 billion dumped in a single month. This was not routine rebalancing. It was an emergency exit.
China accepted massive losses to escape faster.
They chose short-term pain to avoid far greater losses ahead.
When fear rises, speed matters more than price.
A decade ago, China held over $1.3 trillion in U.S. debt. By 2026, that stockpile was reduced by half. When China sells, someone else must step in to buy. To attract buyers, the U.S. must raise interest rates.
That immediately raises mortgage costs for American families.
Car payments rise. Auto loans become more expensive.
Credit card interest quietly climbs higher.
Rising bond yields ripple through the entire economy.
Banks holding old bonds begin absorbing massive paper losses.
This echoes the regional banking crisis of March 2023.
These losses are unrealized for wind until they suddenly aren't. China learned from the freezing of Russian reserves in 2022.
They began shifting reserves into European custodial accounts. This creates a buffer against future sanctions. China also turned to something older than finance itself: gold. They accumulated gold for 14 consecutive months. Gold has no counterparty risk. No one can freeze it. This marks a shift away from dollar-based trust. Then came a new system, built outside the dollar. The BRICS group launched a settlement currency called the unit.
It's backed 40% by physical gold.
This allows global trade without touching the US dollar.
Energy and commodities begin moving outside the petrodollar system.
The petrodollar's dominance starts to weaken.
Global demand for dollars quietly declines.
Lower demand means persistent inflation at home.
The U.S. now borrows to pay interest on existing debt. This creates a self-reinforcing debt spiral. If buyers disappear, the Fed becomes the buyer of last resort.
That path leads to permanent money printing.
The global economy is splitting into two financial worlds. China is building infrastructure to bypass the dollar entirely. This is the great decoupling, Polov, and it has already begun.